Hey everybody, what's up? If you can't hear, a fire truck's going by, and the reason I have it on is because my dad was a firefighter, and that reminds me of him. So, anyways, moving on. I'm gonna say this. Doesn't matter if you gave your child up for adoption, were homeless, had a dollar in the bank, living paycheck to paycheck. You have as great a value as the mom who came from a trust fund or old money. You know what really kind of gets under my skin? When you're in a group of estranged parents. And maybe you like me. I was middle class growing up and then joined the military, and we were a military family, so we have very little. I can't even tell you. We lived on macaroni and cheese and Totino's pizzas back then. And of course I breastfed, so that was free. But anyways, military family, we didn't have much. I went to the thrift store, and my girls got hand-me-downs. It's just the way it was. And then as they got older, what I do to give them Christmas presents, I go to the dollar store and to the thrift store, and I wrap each gift individually. So if I got a pack of crayons, those were wrapped, and I got a coloring book, that was wrapped. And so we had a whole bunch of stuff under the tree. And then we moved and we rented an apartment, and our first house back then, way back in 2008, was like $69,900. I love that house. I loved it. It was a little house, a fixer-upper. It had wood paneling in this. I shouldn't say wood paneling, but wood-like paneling in the living room that I had to take out because I was dark paneling. I wanted to have a light and breezy house, but I love that house. It was a 900 square foot basementless ranch. It was lovely. That's where I raised my kids. And then they left, and the market crashed, and I lost my house, and I moved, and I eventually rented, and now I'm married. But anyways, we weren't wealthy. We raised our kids. We had hand-me-downs. We go to the thrift store. We go to the library. We did what we could to save money. But I gave my kids love, and they were loved. They were valued, and we had friends, and we had family, and we went on trips when we could afford it. So what gets my goat is these parents will come in these groups and they'll say, I gave my kids had private schools, and I got my daughter a pony, and this one got an iPhone, and I got this kid a Lamborghini, and I paid for his college, his house, his postdoctorate, and I gave him this and that, and he gets an allowance, and I bought him a new iPhone, and my kid got a pair of $1,000 sneakers. Are you kidding me? I find the parents that struggle the most are the ones that invested the most financially into their children. Why? Because for some odd reason, they have the mindset that the more money they pay, the more they're owed. The more their child has to stay in contact with them. God forbid you gave your child $500,000 and he walked away from you, because that's just the way it is. So to those parents that spent more, that doesn't mean you have more value in this world. That just means you had more financial means than someone else. I didn't come from money. My kids didn't come from money. But the hell if you're going to tell me that you were of greater value because your kid had, uh, I don't know, a Tesla compared to a 2002 Honda Civic. That's what really gets me. Why? Because it makes other parents feel like shit. It's because if a mom couldn't afford to to give her daughter a huge quinceanera, or my super sweet 16. Why? Because maybe I could only afford to take my daughter to the movies. But yet you took her on a trip around the world. Does that mean you have greater value than me? I don't think so. I didn't buy my children. I gave them what I had, and sometimes I gave them more than what I could afford. But sometimes I took money out of my own pocket for things that I wanted and gave it to my kids. That's just the way it was. I'm not going to try and one up someone. I don't even try to do that today. I've been retired for a couple of years, and if my car broke down, could I afford a tow truck? Well, yeah, I guess. But that's not what it's all about. What is it about? It's about the fact that we did what we could. You you spent within your means. But just because you had less doesn't mean you're of lesser value in this world. So anyways, that's all I've got. And I hope this helps someone. Let's stop comparing apples to oranges or silver to platinum or diamonds to lab grown cubic zirconia. Let's not do that. Let's just say we're parents. You gave birth. You sacrificed for your kids. That's good enough. So anyways, that's all there is to it. And I will be back.